Morning, May 27th. It's a Thursday. Weekend's almost upon us. And I was just logged into my Medium account. I was about to write an article or two, which is always a chore, always something I dread. But it gets easier over time. Then I stumbled upon a new article from Taylor Kennedy, a Hexagon based out in the West Coast, I believe. And let's have a read. And I just read the headline. And it's kind of building on what my Arthur Hayes' talks regarding crypto, the inner mechanics of how exchanges work, stable coins, DeFi, and proto banks. And this is kind of the true essence and the power of cryptocurrency. It's basically taken us 12 and a bit years to get to this point. A lot of hard work has been put in, a lot of scams as well along the way, but that's kind of part of the process. Offering castles in the sky, there's hopium kind of deals while just taking your money, right? That's kind of part of the deal, the wild west. But at the core of it is actually a true potentially world-changing technology, right? Triple entry blockchains, digital ledger technology, right? And basically solving the double spend problem, right? When you got something digital, it's easy to make many copies. Bitcoin solved that issue with its proof of work consensus, right? So that's a little brief history. And like I said, 12 years to get to this point. And I believe the next coming 5 to 10 years is the S-curve adoption phase. This is the mega part of the growth. So let's dig into what Taylor's been saying on his latest article. And let me upload this up full screen and I'll click on it. Okay, just came out, right? 7-minute read. And even though it's only 7 minutes, people don't like to read in this modern day of TikTok and Instagram, right? So here we go. Maybe you can just put this video on, in the background or whatever, in your earbuds as you walk around and do your exercises, workouts. So here we go. Here's the title: Savers and income investors see high returns as banking's second biggest product hits the blockchain. Investors are putting dollars to work like never before and yielding high returns, because where can you get that yield and those mega returns? In traditional finance. Wait. And a lovely picture. The man is pulling this pulley. That's kind of a good graphic, isn't it? These are the returns and leveraging his work. And it's got like kind of a urban cityscape on the background, and that's kind of key, right? It's like capitalism. You can't have capitalism without capital formation available to you, right? Savings products, okay. And in crypto, those savings products offer huge returns. Right, here we go. The purchasing power of the dollar has seen a precipitous decline year after year, as Michael Saylor points out the half-life of a solid Western currency like the USD or the GBP or the euro is actually 5 years. Yes, 5 years now. It's getting into insane levels. But intelligent fund allocations means savings and investment dollars no longer need suffer. Savers have been suffering for many a decade. 2021 has seen the largest banks in the world, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, BNP Paribas, Goldman Sachs et al. Embrace blockchain technology as a new efficient means of providing advanced solutions, ranging from digital asset custody to more wide-reaching blockchain strategies. The benefits of integrating blockchain applications among the world's largest financial institutions are indeed proving to be many. With this technology being endorsed and utilized by the largest and most highly respected financial institutions, they must disrupt themselves, otherwise they will cease to be a thing in the future. So it's kind of a survival mechanism that these big banks are now having to embrace blockchain, right? They try to kind of keep it subdued, and they kind of did for a few years. I think part of the last bear market was kind of directly tied to their actions. But here we go. Now there's smarter, better ways for savers and investors to put their money to work. Savers and investors level up. Imagine having a financial product that safely and securely provides a double-digit rate of return on long-term savings. Today, over 8 trillion sits in certificates or deposits, also known globally as time deposits, between the United States and China alone. And in the UK, we have ISAs, or individual savings accounts, which provide little to no interest, basically less than 1%, locking up your money for years on end, getting it eaten away by inflation a little bit less slowly, but not by much. This neither serves as an effective store of value, nor does it offset the inflation constantly decaying purchasing power. Right now, it's better just to spend your fiat as quickly as you earn it. All right, hopefully into some sort of assets, or even like a classic car or a house or whatever. But having your money just rotting away in the bank is a fool's errand. Anyway, Hex.com has succeeded in bringing the CD to the blockchain by deploying a fully audited, secure financial product that is safe, easy to use. If you're kind of tech savvy or computer savvy, it's pretty easy to use. Once you get a hang of it, it's still not at the point where it's like, Cash App slick or Coinbase slick, but it's pretty. You can get there with a little help with your friends, and there's plenty of Hexans willing to help. I've got an article how to DeFi in like 3-4 steps, or 5 steps maybe tops. Okay, easy to use and outperforms traditional bank CD yields, of course. At time of writing, Hex pays an average 40% annualized APY by monetizing the time value of money. Those yields actually been beaten if you kind of lock up for even longer. You get a bonus through the share system that Hex employs. If you just do a 1 year, I believe you're looking at you're getting a double-digit interest, probably around 11%, which is still great, and also exposing your capital to the appreciation. So 11% plus appreciation. Yeah, it's hard to beat, right? Kind of defeats the whole trading avenue of trying to eke out a living, right? Kind of destroys that, right? Try and beat 40% a year. I mean, I was looking at reading the Market Wizards, and these guys getting 40-50% growth on their accounts is huge. Okay. 40% APY by monetizing the time value of money in a totally new way, only possible through the use of blockchain technology, specifically the smart contract. Credit goes to Vitalik for bringing Ethereum into the wild and creating that platform. As awareness of this new financial product spreads, an increasing amount of funds are being seen allocating to Hex, over 3.62 billion at time of writing. I think the market cap of Hex right now is what is it? Yeah, it's in the 30s. It's coming up and close on Dogecoin, so it's number 8, I believe. But the amount locked in the contract, yeah, I think Taylor's spot on, 3.62 billion, which is at the top. It's the number one total value locked in a crypto asset. I think number 2, is it? Are they? So Synthetics, because they don't list on DeFi Pulse. Let me look it up right now quickly for you. DeFi Pulse. The total locked, I believe, is currently in total DeFi is 62 billion. I'll confirm right now. Boom. 64 billion. Maker has a dominance of 14.9%. Okay, DeFi Pulse Index. What is that? I guess the growth of the overall space is at 417. So on DeFi Pulse, they have lending, dexes, derivatives, payments, and assets. Let's click on assets. Assets, number 1 is Yearn Finance, 3.57 billion. And what is Hex? Hex is nowhere to seen on this list. Number 2 is Vesper at 754 million, not billion. So number 1 is Yearn Finance, 3.57. Hex, 3.62 billion, number 1. There you go. Pure DeFi product. Getting paid high interest every day through its time deposit or staking product feature with strong attention to detail in its conception and product design. Hex has truly remastered the traditional banking CD by giving it several much needed upgrades. 3 of these include high interest yield that puts dollars to work, being more secure than FDIC insured banks. So this FDIC insurance kind of pool is such a small fraction of the total amount in the banking industry. It's just a token. It's a token feature. It's kind of a stamp to give you confidence in the banking structure. But during a bank run, your funds are not secure. They are not safe. And the removal of middlemen, allowing users full and complete access to their funds at all times. Here we take a look at the features of this new financial product and how it is benefiting everyday savers and investors. Stakers, and the staker class. What is Hex? Hex.com is the first blockchain, and this link obviously will take you there, I believe. Yep. Hex.com. If it loads, yes, here we go. So it has a interface to a Uniswap swap. So just a matter of getting your Ethereum and connecting to a MetaMask wallet, or any, I think even maybe Trust Wallet, or there's a couple other wallets that labeled you to connect to dApps on the Ethereum network. So, high interest, no minimum, decentralized design, 200,000 wallets on Hex so far. Richard Hart is making new eFork. Yeah, so this will make swapping and staking so much more economically feasible. It is quite expensive now. So this is great. Lots of great website, lots of detailed instructions, and here we go. 5.9 cents, 33.9 billion market cap. This is number of tokens staked in the contract, number of addresses, and it's on 22 some dubious exchanges, because it's, exchange will list it, and if they can get hold of some tokens. So there you go. Yep, lots of stuff. Let's go back to Taylor. Hex.com is the first blockchain certificate of deposit. It kicked off the whole DeFi movement. And with a blockchain product comes a few new terms that are useful and easy to understand. Whereas banks use the nomenclature certificate of deposit, CD, to describe their financial product that defines a time-locked interest-bearing account. In Hex, a stake is synonymous and defines the same collectively. All time-locked depositors, Stakers in Hex are referred to as the staker class, or the user, the staker, controls how much and how long they want to commit to stake for. The minimum is one day, which is kind of, it's up to you. If you got a few $1 million, sure, that'll work. But if you've got a few $100, like most people, it pays to go long. Take care of your future, right? With a long stake. Every active stake in Hex gets paid high interest daily, and at the completion of the stake may be withdrawn in full. Hex pays high interest every day. Hex tokens have monetary value and are easily convertible to fiat currency on the blockchain. The biggest pair is a US dollar token. When Hex tokens are purchased and then staked to receive high yielding interest every day paid on top of the token price. The Hex token price has seen to rise across time due to its growing demand and popularity, with a 34.6 billion market cap at time of writing. In fact, 40% APY aside, the price of the underlying Hex token has outperformed every market or asset since it launched in December 29. Not many people know this yet, or it's not commonly known amongst the crypto community. But their loss could be your gain. Here you see the chart of Hex. It's gone up 10x, 100x, and I believe it's on my spreadsheet that I'm tracking. It's well up into 1700x. The design function and goal on the outset of Hex being launched was to beat Ethereum, which did a 10,000x. Yes, you heard that correctly. Ethereum ICO was priced at, I believe, 30 cents. Let's do some quick maths. And around 2015, and at the peak of the 2017 bull, peaked at around $1,400. Let's do the math. 1,400 divided by 30 cents is 4,516 multiple. So doing a 10,000x will definitely beat that, right? More than double. And here we go. Ethereum, Bitcoin, you've got Amazon way down here, S&P 500 barely looks like a flat line. Penalties traditional banks would keep for not honoring the terms of the CD. Hex pays directly to the staking class. So the community or people who pull their funds together in the code of a Hex gets paid penalties when somebody terminates their contract before it is mature. So that makes sense. If you have too many people ending the contracts early to basically sell on the open market, that hurts the whole ecosystem, the price of the token. So why not encourage them not to, or penalize them and encourage them to keep their funds locked by paying them interest? That's the key carrot and the stick that is encoded into the smart contract. With about 228,000 active stakes at time of writing, this additional bonus for honest stakers adds up fast. The traditional bank CD worked quite well, so the wheel did not have to be entirely reinvented for Hex, much the same as a bank. Hex rewards users who keep their commitments and also penalizes those who break them, e.g. withdrawing a stake too early or too late. Penalties traditional banks would keep for not honoring the terms of the CD, which goes into their bottom line and then pays their stock shareholders and their CEOs and the fancy buildings, etc. The marketing, all that. You kind of get the idea. If you kind of condense banking into a piece of software, isn't that better? Running on an open public blockchain like Ethereum, and soon to be a fork of Ethereum that is kind of the golden ticket, right? Hex pays directly to the staking class. There are 228,000 active states. Okay, we already read that. Hex also pays higher higher rates of interest for committing to stake for longer periods of time, just like the bank CD did. More details on the mechanism of Hex high interest yield can easily be found exploring the website hex.com. Let me just take a swig of coffee. One moment. More secure than FDIC insured banks, Federal Deposit Insurance Company, I believe. Yes, it is true. That's kind of a, like I said, just a confidence game. If a string of banks failed, then your deposits would definitely be at risk. And the United States, the maximum protection a bank CD can have is from the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, covering up to $250,000 per depositor per insured bank for each account category. You have to look that up. I think it is correct, but if you have 250,000 in one savings account in one bank and 250,000 in a second, make sure that is actually the case. Spreading out your deposits you think you might be doing the right thing, but it may not. It may not. That could be the limit for one single individual. Since they got your name and social security number, that would be easy to track, right? The FDIC only protects against a bank failure. However, and the coverage offered has a relatively low limit. So, there's a lot of people in America, lawyers, doctors who earn, $300,000-$400,000 a year, taking away 30-40% for taxes, maybe 150 for 124 for living. They probably have access to $100,000 of, that they want to put to work. So yeah, people in America who are highly qualified, they can have 250,000 after 10 years quite easily. Even less, probably right. To get security right and completely eliminate the possibility of product failure, Hex underwent 3 separate audits performed by 2 of the top contract auditors in the world, specializing in blockchain. The result for Hex has been 100% uptime in a financial product that operates flawlessly. The Hex smart contract is immutable and cannot ever be altered. Yeah, it's in a basically isolated, cannot be altered, rendering faith in a bank succeeding or fear it failing irrelevant and immaterial for the stakers. The user is fully in control of their funds in the Hex, and there is no limit to the balances staking can support. In fact, many are surprised to learn Hex is a finished product designed to easily absorb the whole of the world's time deposits while continuing to pay high yields. It's like Bitcoin, how Bitcoin went from a few $100,000 of market cap to what we now topped over 1 trillion, and then it can continually absorb more dollars, more pounds, more yen, more Korean ones. It's just there's no limit to how high it can grow. It's up to basically humanity and getting aware, understanding, and putting faith. A small amount at first, 1,000, 5,000, and then it's basically a shift from old world to new world, which takes time. Quote, Hex was delayed almost a year to get security right, which is why it has 3 audits, 2 security audits, 1 economics audit. Hex has no admin keys, no off switch, no pause switch. It is fully autonomous. like Tesla, self-driving cars coming to your city soon. Yeah, city tech is being rolled out soon. City driving. If hex.com goes offline, if I die, the system continues to work fine. It is unstoppable. The code is on the blockchain. You run it. You mint your own rewards. That's it. Quote, and Richard Hart, founder of Hex. 100% uptime and zero middlemen. A clear advantage of integrating blockchain technology with personal finance, especially in the case of Hex, is it removes middlemen and the need to trust other people with users' money. Simply stated, math is more trustworthy than man. Yeah, numbers don't lie, but the story about the numbers told by men often do. So that's why you should always DYOR, or just put a few percentage of your dollars at work first to get comfortable with the system. The engine for Hex is a immutable smart contract consisting of openly viewable code, a series of mathematical functions that cannot ever be altered nor impaired. Hex does its magic with no management, no promises, and no expectations of work from others. Hex performs so well solely due to its product design. Monthly interest paid to stakers. Let's blow this up. If it allows. Okay, this is taking slightly too long. Let's go back to the article. Now, let's see if we can garner something out of this. So, on the y-axis, the label is monthly interest credited in million hex. Okay. So December 2019, it looks around, I would say, 50 million hex. January 2020, probably 200 million hex. And let's skip to the summer, July 2020, a million. Okay, 1 million hex credited to the savers. 1 million hex. Wait. Yes, 1.0. No, is that 1,000 million? Is that a billion hex? I think that's correct. It's a comma, not a full stop. So 1,000 million, that is a billion. A billion hex credited to the savers in July 2020. And let's see how this growth continues. In October, 1.5 billion. December 2020, it's coming off the charts, the scale here, 2 billion. 2 billion again in January, slightly less in February, 1.8 billion. Again, March, 2 billion hex. 2 billion hex at current prices. Let me just do the quick math. Is $120 million of value in a month. A trend of month-over-month growth. Staking Hex continues to see a trend of month-over-month growth observed in both total active stakes and interest paid. The more people that come aboard Hex, in terms of the number of stakers or savers, that interest rate would it go down? Yeah, as the pool of savers grows, your basically the slice of the pie you receive will slightly go down in terms of APY, but you're more than compensated by a higher hex price. More than compensated. So that's how this works. As the community grows of savers, so does the price. And the price is a function, and the interest is a function of the price, right? Okay. In the past 30 days, approximately $19.4 million has been paid to the staker class, with 228,000 stakes receiving trustless interest paid daily every day at midnight UTC, British Standard Time. Hex is a new financial product and the first of its kind to be sure. The interest, pardon the pun, is picking up momentum with more users today than ever before. Capital goes where it is welcome and stays where it is well treated. Former CEO of Citicorp, Walter B. Wriston, wise words. Not just capital, people go where they are treated better or best, right? Beware, Joe Biden, what you're doing to your citizens. And Boris Johnson. So whether one is exploring new ways to sustainably build and increase savings, or simply allocating as portfolio component to produce yield, there is a brand new class of savvy investors reaping consistent high-yielding returns with the blockchain's first certificate of deposit, that is HEX. As the financial industry continues to embrace and take advantage of blockchain technology for themselves, one thing is certain: HEX's design and performance continues to benefit savers and investors with high yields, outsized returns, and an inspiration for their future. That's a beautiful article written by Taylor Kennedy. Okay, so let's stop this share. And yeah, 28 minutes, perfect length of time. Perfect length of time. So I should end it there. Maybe I'd write my blog. And I think I was going to I had a couple of ideas in mind. One was, post this crypto crash, how to build a crypto portfolio. You may have Bitcoin, you may have Litecoin, you may have Ethereum, but did you have any stable coins to buffer the downturn? Did you have any high yield interest bearing assets like HEX? It's kind of, you need to design a portfolio kind of more in line with traditional ways of portfolio design now. Be a little bit more savvy. Now you've got options to buy digital gold through Pax Gold tokens with ownership allocated on the blockchain. You can buy digital property now through Upland, which produces a higher yield than a real house. I think 15, 16, 17% yielding on these properties on the blockchain in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Chicago, San Francisco. And, these properties are rare. You want to buy a little property on Coney Island, so there's not too many of them. Just giving you ideas, right? Or Park Avenue, Fifth Avenue, you get the idea. There we go. So ending it now. Hopefully this provided some value to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.